Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 6 of Showcase Central. I'm your host, Nate Branco here, and we got quite a bit to dive into today. So let's get to it. You grab your water, you grab your granola bar, grab whatever you want, put on your AirPods, because I'm going to dish out some knowledge to you, man. All right. So let's do this. MLB lockout is incoming for the 2027 season. Let's just say yesterday stirred up a lot of drama. Thursday was not a good day for some MLB fans and not for the players. So the MLB proposed a salary cap system on Thursday. The proposal would set a hard cap of $245.3 million and a hard floor of $171.2 million, aiming to shrink the disparity among team payrolls by a certain amount. This calls for a 50-50 split in revenue and the centralization of all TV revenue. So the MLB, you could tell, wants it to be fair, because you look at some teams with the best payrolls, like the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Sox, the Cubs, etc. And then you have some low market teams, like small market teams, like the Rays, the Brewers, the Guardians, and the A's, whatever. You have superstar players in the offseason that are interested in going to big market teams, and they just don't give a shit about the small market teams, no matter how much that they offer them. It's just insane, in my opinion. Like, they just want your services and but everyone just chases the bag. That's what it is, man. They just chase the bag. And obviously, these small market teams could definitely use you in their lineup, which honestly would be a big boost for them. And especially for business. Business would especially be booming over there. So let's just say the MLB wants to actually get a salary cap to put a halt to that. They're like, hey, you know what? We want players to actually consider small market teams and they feel like it's unfair to actually have these star players going here and they just don't give a shit here. No salary cap is just crazy to me. At one point I used to be kind of like, they don't need one, because that was just me saying, oh, like, I love the amount of money that they're getting because how much they're getting per year. But I mean, so you gotta look at it through a business standpoint. I mean, do you really want the Dodgers scooping up this guy in free agency, that guy, Joe Schmo, and so on and so on? Like, no. And then next thing you know, Yankees, Mets. You really want everyone grabbing them, because you'll probably be some schmuck that will complain about those teams winning a World Series sometime soon, and then, yeah, that's what will happen. You would be seeing the Dodgers, which are pretty much the new evil empire of the league, taking over. I think everybody in the MLB would hate that. I mean, they already hate it now. So, MLB, the last time that they had a lockout, it was 2021, which only lasted 99 days. And it didn't really affect anything because it only trimmed down some spring training games. And it only pushed back opening day to April 2nd. I mean, it should be beginning of April, because who the hell wants to be playing in March, man? It's still cold. It's still this and that, man. Like, they should be doing that. Beginning of May, second week of May, it doesn't matter. Just have it right there, man. And the MLB owners are proposing a salary cap for the first time since baseball's 1994 strike. So there's a difference between a strike and a lockout. A strike is just the players wouldn't show up to practice. They wouldn't go to any meetings and so on. But let's just say a lockout is a whole nother level. A lockout is literally everything shut down and everything's pretty much frozen in time, man. Nobody can make any moves, not general managers, not ownership. It's just everything's frozen. So the MLB's CBA expiration date is December 1st. And that is around the time that teams start making moves. We all know the MLB World Series usually stops around very late October, very beginning November. But of course, December 1st, that's usually when the winter meetings happen and when trades and free agent signings actually start kicking in. And honestly, if I'm the MLB and I'm the MLBPA, I would actually start thinking of stuff to actually agree on, because honestly, it's looking like a real imbalance here. Certain teams like the Rays, Brewers, Guardians, and etc. are all small market teams, and they want a more competitive balance, especially business-wise. You don't see them throwing out crazy contracts to star players. The only thing that you really see is them dishing out crazy contracts to their farm system born players. Like, I remember the Rays dishing out a contract to Wander Franco a very while back. And look what happened there. That is something that will probably be spoken about another day, because that got nullified. And then you have people like the Guardians with Jose Ramirez. That dude is the king of Cleveland, and he deserves that type of contract. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, these homegrown players are actually getting really good. They're getting hometown deals. Meanwhile, you have superstars like Kyle Tucker or even like an Alex Bregman and so on. They're getting these contracts from here, there, and accepting them due to money. And I feel like it's just killing the business. It's killing the business because you have one half of the team that's just evil empire. Well, it's only so the Dodgers, but you get the drift. And then you have the low market teams that don't really ever have a chance at actually trying to make moves. They either make moves or they just make one minor move here and there, and then you have a team's fan base that's all pissed off. Oh man. But I mean, they want a salary cap just to establish cost certainty, maximize franchise valuations, and shrink the massive spending gap, which is 446 mil, which is pretty much what it is between the Dodgers and the Marlins. The Dodgers being the top, and then you have the Miami Marlins actually being the very bottom of the league when it comes to that. And that's just the comparison between big and small market teams. But we'll see what they do, and we'll see if they actually come into an understanding, and I'll have to keep you guys updated on this as this goes on. Sacramento is putting in their name in the hat for an MLB expansion team. So the MLB actually wants to have 2 new teams by 2029. There are some other cities such as Portland, Oregon, Nashville, Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina, and now we have Sacramento that want a team themselves. I think Sacramento has had so much fun with the Athletics that they were like, "Hey, nice seeing you, A's. We'll catch you in Vegas hopefully one day." But we'll see. But I don't know if Sacramento will actually get their own team. That's something I don't really see happening. But I do know I saw some renderings online, and it does look like a nice stadium. They definitely wouldn't use Suter Heath Park because that is the Giants AAA affiliate, and obviously they wouldn't have to use that because that's just absurd. So I don't, in my honest opinion, I do not think that Sacramento needs a ballpark. Well, they don't need a team. The reason why I say that is because look at this here. You have the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Los Angeles Angels, the San Francisco Giants, the San Diego Padres. You have four, man. You don't need a fifth. Fifth's just insane. Leave the four the way they are. I know that there was Oakland. Well, Oakland would have been fifth, but we all know what happened to Oakland. It got diminished. But honestly, they don't need another. Just leave Oakland the way it was. And obviously, we know it's memory. But honestly, I think a team like Nashville, Tennessee, deserves one, especially with its environment the way they are over there, because I hear that Nashville is bumping, especially with concerts, bars, and just some sightseeing, man. I will say this. I will defend Nashville on this one, and I think this would be a great idea. So, potential MLB Nashville owners, if they get approved. So, let's say the team is out. The team is away on a series against so-and-so. And if they really wanted to, they could get somebody like Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, or whoever to freaking go inside that new Nashville park and perform for the fans. That would be insane. That would drive up so much revenue just for that stadium alone, because those guys are famous in Nashville. Those guys are famous in Tennessee in general. I mean, hey, another Southern team in the MLB, that won't hurt. Aside from Texas and Florida, but Tennessee, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen for Nashville. And then we have Portland, and we have North Carolina. I would not be opposed to either one of those two teams actually getting a stadium. If not Raleigh, then I actually see Charlotte. I actually would rather prefer Charlotte than Raleigh, North Carolina. I know Charlotte already has a AAA system in itself, but I mean, another ballpark would not hurt, because that would be actually pretty cool. So, yes, you got the Hornets, and then you have the Carolina Hurricanes. Why not add another? I'd love to see that, honestly. But I don't know how you guys feel about Portland, but Portland does deserve one. I know they don't really have much going on over there except for college football, but I feel like a baseball team could probably spark up their sports dynasty over there. Well, not sports dynasty, but their sports world over there. But honestly, let's roll with Nashville, North Carolina. And if there's one thing that MLB should do, if they do expand with two more teams, I know that each division has 5 teams. If they really want to go from 30 to 32, if I were them, I would definitely do a new realignment. I would do a new realignment with, instead of 5, you cut it down to 4. And then you have, instead of 6 divisions overall, you could do it to 8. So 8 divisions, 4 teams, boom. Just a new realignment. I would not be opposed to that. That is something that Rob Manfred should also have in the back of his mind, aside from this lockout. But, hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So now let's go into the DraftKings lock of the day. I got quite a bit for you guys. So if you want to put this down, write it down, put it in your DraftKings as of right now. So let's get to it. I have Milwaukee's catcher William Contreras for 1 base hit. And then we have Tampa's third baseman Junior Caminero for 1 RBI. LA's Mike Trout for 1 home run. And then we have Nick Martinez, Tampa Bay's starting pitcher for tonight, for 4 strikeouts. All right, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Like and subscribe. Hope you guys have a great Friday. Be safe this weekend. and I will see you guys on Monday. Take care.